Hi there, my name is Julia, and this is my future goals as an education studies major in the Family and Human Development track. My strengths. In week 1, we began looking into tracks within educational studies that we felt embodied a leader who was empathetic, detail-oriented, and friendly, because all these work together to ensure that students and their families feel supported and genuinely cared for. Utilizing leadership skills. As a future teacher, my current leadership style matches very well with that career. I will always view my students as my equals and believe that we will work together as a team to learn, explore, and grow. In Trajani's 2018 article, 5 Ways Leaders Are Different to Managers, they list the various skills that are important to have in order to be an effective leader, one of them being passion. Shows them how important their happiness and success are to me. I feel that if my students see this, they will be more likely to work harder and enjoy their academics. Motivation for pursuing my track. When I was about 19 years old, I had the realization that I feel the most euphoric when I'm connecting with others, When I was about 19 years old, I had the realization that I feel the most euphoric when I'm connecting with others, which were then mixed by the intense emotions I felt when I talked about how I felt misunderstood when it came to my disability. I realized how these shows them how important their happiness and success are to me. I feel that if my students see this, they will be more likely to work harder and enjoy their academics. Intrinsic motivation and ultimately happiness is to seek out the things that engross us, that lift our mood by absorbing our focus and attention. End quote. This is exactly how I feel when I think about my future as an educator, because this career combines the things that I feel passionate about and makes me feel my best. Inspirational leaders. Beginning with Jane Elliott, a diversity educator of over 50 years who was the reason I decided to become a teacher. She was one of the first teachers to speak up about racism in the classroom. When I watched her Blue Eyes, Brown Eyes documentary for the first time, it struck me how much teachers play a part in a student's growth and outcome. During this period of my late teen years, I was doing a lot of reflecting and felt resentment towards my public school experience. This is when I decided to teach so that I could help students feel validated and understood. As I am an educational studies major, I tend to hear about Maria Montessori quite a bit. She is famously known for her teaching method, which bears her last name, and is seen in many school names. I admire her effort to learn as she pleases, despite being in an all-boys school, and to hear about Maria Montessori quite a bit. She is famously known for her teaching method, which bears her last name, and to hear about Maria Montessori quite a bit. She is famously known for her teaching method, which bears her last name, and is seen in many school names. I admire her effort to learn as she pleases, despite being in an all-boys school at a young age. Not only this, but her extraordinary way of teaching and thinking was inspirational, as she saw children as beings with free will and independence. This reflects the way that I feel about my future students, as I want them to know we are equals and that I'm here for their support. Mary Caughey is an exceptional teacher and the author of an educational book, Black Ants and Buddhists. When I read this book a few semesters ago, I was inspired by a new attitude toward children that I hadn't seen before. Similar to Montessori, Caughey believes that children have the right to know about the world around them, from tragedies to politics. This has sparked interest in what I will decide to include in my classroom and how I can involve my students in our community so that our society can progress positively. Implementing empathy and advocacy skills. As stated previously, when I spent time reflecting and feeling resentment towards my public school experience, I realized how many of those feelings stemmed from unethical teaching. This can happen when teachers go into their field to feel a sense of power over those who are vulnerable. However, as stated by D'Souza, 2011, quote, "Being able to do that, empathy, gives us the ability to gain credibility, respect, and trust from others." End quote. I will combat this issue in education through empathy and advocacy by ensuring that my students feel respected when I listen to them and validate their emotions. Noble goals. As I read through chapter 8 of D'Souza's book, I realized that my noble goal is very similar to my life purpose, which is to inspire and uplift others through connection and my support. Once again, this reminds me of my personality type, ISFJ, because, quote, defender personalities prefer to be rewarded by seeing firsthand. This will be a lifelong goal that will never be completed, only strive for on a daily basis. And here are my references. Thank you so much for watching. This will be a lifelong goal that will never be completed, only strive for on a daily basis. And here are my references. Thank you so much for watching.